name's Jamie. I own the K20 EG6 behind us. Got it in November 16. Don't really have any nicknames, to be honest. I mean, apart from the obvious ones, Ginge. The exterior look of the car, bar the wheels and the bonnet, and obviously the exhaust tip looks pretty standard. So it can, I wouldn't class it as a sleeper in that sense because of it's loud. A lot of people just look at it and think, oh, it's just a Honda. It's just a Civic, it's an old Civic. There's nothing to it, but wolf in sheep's clothing. Originally the B16 was 160 brake, I believe. Comparing that to obviously the stock K20, 197, 200 brake, but now comparing it to the mods that that is now, it's a 249, 250. In comparison for the power to weight of the car, how it is, say around 1100 kilos with 250 horsepower, you can probably compare it to cars like E46 M3s. It would give them a very good run for their money, if not have an edge on them. Some lower spec Porsches maybe, so if you're going like 911 Carreras, you'd probably give them a good run for their money. And even with the later model cars like the Golf Rs with the DSG gearboxes and that, a lot of people do underestimate it, but to be honest, it isn't to be underestimated really. I initially got introduced to TDI North through Graham Moorcroft. He works for Fastcar. I had the K24, or the built K24, on TDI North Titan throttle bodies. When I had my EP3, we spoke about it and he said he would advise, obviously, at least getting a remap on it, but I wanted to go further than that straight away. So I went breathing mods, exhaust, intake, cams, injectors, with a K100. I went for the full lot, basically straight away, and it transformed the car. I'm more than happy to make the journey from Southend up to TDI North. It's a 230-mile journey, but I don't see it as an issue to know that my car's in the best hands. And I know I'm not going to have any problems. So I agreed with them to have mine done as like a prototype, if you like. And I know from the previous work I got done to them that it was in good hands. I've always had a good experience with them, and there's a lot of people that I know who've had good experiences with them too. So I don't mind making the journey up there. When I bought the car, I initially put it straight into storage. When I took it back out of storage around May time when the weather was nicer, I started doing mods to it, and it was just the bits that refined it to what I wanted, basically. So mods from top to tail are obviously the K20 swap, so it's a K20 A2 swap. It was a low mileage swap when it was done. Going from the intake, it's a custom induction kit, basically, if you like. It's got an Audi A8 Can-N filter on it, so it's a massive filter sitting behind the front bumper. From that it goes up to an FD2 Throttle Body with an RRC, so they're perfectly mated because they're both the same car. Obviously the reason I've got that is because the ECUTEK conversion, so it's all fly-by-wire. Obviously with the old setup it was cable throttle, RBC and 70mm throttle body. So after that, injectors are stock, and then you've got a stock K20, it hasn't been opened up, and then you've got the K-tuned exhaust manifold with the solid fab 3-inch exhaust on it. When TDI's tuned it with the ECUTEK conversion, it made 249 brake and 174 foot-pound, so pretty good power for what it is. The features of ECUTEK are adjustable launch control, adjustable traction control. Paul set up 4 different maps on it for me, and when you're getting them set up, you can obviously have different things added to those. You've got custom inputs which you can turn on and off yourself. So it is, I would say, a lot better than Hyundai 2 in that sense. I think one of the best things about it is you've got the application on your phone which you control it from. You've got data logging on there as well, so you don't have to connect it all up to a laptop to read it. You can read it real time. And you've got, one of the main things is a performance dashboard. So instead of having to spend 500 quid on additional gauges, it's all set up from that, which you can adjust and have whatever parameters on it that you want. With the maps, if you want to describe them in layman's terms, you've got the immobilised map. The wet or eco map, I'll class that as just like a comfort map, if you like. It's a bit softer to drive, if you like. You pull away, it's a lot easier to drive, more like a normal daily car, if you like. And then the other two maps, and compare them to sports mode. Obviously it doesn't affect the suspension or anything like that, but it purely affects the map, so it makes the throttle response as sharp as it can be, and then you've got all the additional features that come along with it as well. So the flat foot shifting, and then you've got the adjustable traction control, launch control, etc. And then you've got custom inputs, which is a switch you can have for pops and bangs. Handling wise, it is basically as it was from factory. It's got obviously Tein coilovers on it. All the bushes are OEM, and on the rear it's just got some D2 control arms. Brakes that are on it are the OEM VTI brakes, so 262s on the front, 242s on the back. The brakes, I've just got blank OE discs on it, and then I've got the Nissan Street Master pads. The wheels that are on it are Japan Racing JR7s, so they are an RPF1 copy, if you like. I think they look nice as they are, and the tyres that they've got on them are Michelin Pilot Sport 3s. The interior of the car is basically OEM, so it follows sort of the theme of the car externally as well, if you like. So it's got the standard leather seats. I've just got a personal steering wheel, a suede personal steering wheel with a DC5 billet shifter with the race cables too. And then obviously the prominent feature of the interior will be the app on the phone, which shows you all of the data login, switchable maps, adjustable traction and launch control. And it just adds up for a nice package that suits perfectly for how I want to use it. I would recommend TDIs. I mean, I've been there with my previous car and my current car. I've had no issues with them at all. They've always been helpful when I need them to. Whether you've got an old Honda or a new Honda, they can cover any aspect of it. Any fault finding, anything like that, remapping, builds, power builds, drag builds, track builds, street builds, whatever you want. I'd advise going there any day of the week.